Hello everyone, it's the 1st of November 2012. My name is Amanda Ellis. For those of you that know me, hello again. For those of you that don't know me, I am a spiritual teacher, a writer, a healer and a colour therapist. And you probably see the beautiful colour bottles behind me, which make up the Colour Mirrors range, which is one of the systems that I use and I teach as well. I'm also known for my work with Archangel Metatron, and at the moment I'm doing a lot of writing a book on Metatron, and I also heal with his energy, and I teach other people really to understand the way that Metatron works and how to incorporate that as an energy into your life. And it seems to be that a lot of the time he comes in and out of my life and asks me to write and communicate about things that are happening around the world. And this has been going on for a couple of years really, but seems to be accelerating. And obviously this week we've had the devastating hurricane which has ripped through America and parts of Canada, and also before that obviously it was in the Caribbean. But particularly New York seems to have really been the eye of the storm and to have suffered enormous damage. And I know there are other parts of America where this is still an ongoing situation, but it's New York I particularly want to focus in on today, because the way it sort of works, I suppose, is that when you connect into and work with an energy which is in this case angelic, there's no rhyme or reason in terms of when they want to communicate something to you. And the day after the hurricane hit New York, I got a very strong message from Archangel Metatron, which I felt that I wanted to communicate and was asked to share with people. And it felt as though I needed to actually speak it. So this is the first video that I've done. So please excuse the rustiness of it. The sound quality isn't maybe ideal, and the visual quality isn't maybe as good as I'd like it to be going forward, but it's been done in haste. But the words that I want to convey are not coming from haste. They're very much, they're considered, and they're very much coming from my heart as well, and they're coming very much from the energy of Archangel Metatron. So without further ado then, before the hurricane hit New York, obviously it was very well forecast that this was going to happen. And that night in particular, I know a lot of people were praying and sending the light to America, the whole East Coast, so that the storm would not be as devastating as we feared. Now, of course, there has been an awful lot of devastation, and there's been deaths and there's been loss, and people who have lost everything, lost their homes, lost their businesses. And on that individual basis, it's truly heartbreaking what has gone on and what is still obviously going on at the moment. But the night that it happened, I went into meditation about it, and I was shown another scenario that fortunately didn't play itself out. And I do feel as though people's prayers and hopes and positive intentions for the continent of America did help the storm to, although it is still very, very devastating, I do feel there was another scenario that could have played out and didn't. More deaths, more devastation even than what we're seeing at the moment. And also there's a number of nuclear stations within the line of that storm, and they have withstood that assault by nature and come through, thank God. So firstly, I want to thank the angels for small mercies. You know, angels can't necessarily take away the pain of the world, but they can help to lessen the effect. And I do feel that this is something where the angels did flock to the coast, that East Coast, on that night. And also the winds did actually reduce. They did go from hurricane force down to whatever the next level is, I forget as I'm talking to you. So it's small mercies, because obviously people have lost their lives, and there is an awful lot of clearing up and devastation ongoing, and certainly my heart goes out to anybody that has been affected by that, and really send thoughts and prayers and love from the UK, which is where I'm making this video, because a lot of people are thinking of you over there, or over here rather. One of the pictures that struck me as I was sort of looking at the media the following day, was that photograph from Ground Zero of the whole of the foundations of Ground Zero, which is now being excavated and built on, totally and utterly flooded with water. And of course, that event at Ground Zero, the 9/11 event and the falling of the Twin Towers, was one of the big events that's happened in the world, where collectively many people watched it happening live on television. And I certainly remember watching it when I think I was pregnant with my first child, and I was just watching some, I don't know, mindless soap opera or something, and then the pictures started coming in live, and it was just that complete intake of breath, and everybody's hearts broke a little, and just witnessing it, let alone the people obviously lost lives in that as well. So a great deal of heartache centred on that particular spot, Ground Zero. Water, as we know from a spiritual aspect, has a cleansing quality to it, and I do feel that the waters that have gone into New York, and in particular into that place, are helping to cleanse away some of the pain that is still felt deep in the earth there, and that can only be a good thing. New York itself, we talk about the Big Apple. I've never been to New York myself, but I just love the buzz, the perception of the buzz of the place, the buzz, the creativity, the fun, the sheer life force that city has. It's called the city that never sleeps, and there's been some very inspiring stories over the last 24 hours of people just carrying on, getting on with it, and rebuilding their lives slowly but surely. I was just looking at something where there are restaurants with lights on, sorry, not with lights on, but they're still doing business. And it is that whole thing about the city will rebuild, and it will reform, and it will emerge into something better than it was before. And it's that pulling together of people within the city itself, but also collectively, because everybody's rooting for them. As I say, really just on the night that it happened, and then the following day, I wasn't really expecting to be talking about this or writing about this subject, but Archangel Metatron came in very strongly with me, and the word I kept hearing over and over again with regard to New York City was the heart chakra. And we know that the planet is starting to evolve and ascend to a higher vibration. We're entering a new spiritual age. The world doesn't end on the 21st of December 2012. I don't believe that. But we're in the birth pains of a new era. And everywhere we look, there is the falling away of old structures, outworn structures, and what's happening is new things are being built in their place. But it's a slow process at the moment, and we are in that birth pain phase. And in terms of the Earth, Mother Earth itself, there are a number of very strong energy portals around the planet which are starting to awaken to help us as a humanity with this whole process of basically being better people, being a better species, coming more from the heart, living from our truth, and really just the dawning of that new age. We know that London, this year, 2012, there was the Olympic Games, and there was an inpouring of light into London, which has actually prevented a lot of the mass flooding that was predicted for that city this year. And that's a real blessing. And I think London has a lot to be grateful for, as I say, for that outpouring of love and hope and inspiration. And, it was a beautiful thing to behold, really. Somebody who lives in the UK, it was very negative before the games began. The country was quite negative about it all, but as soon as it began, there was just this influx of light and hope, and everybody got caught up on it. And what's happened in London is that the what's called the Earth Star chakra, which is really the foundation of all of these pivotal energy centres, started to open in London. My guidance is that although it has opened and it is awakening, it's still in quite a vulnerable state, and it is still vulnerable to darker forces. So again, people who are coming from the right place of positivity and light and love need to really still be pouring their prayers into that particular energy centre and to London and the UK itself to consolidate what has already happened this year for 2012. With regard to New York, going back to this word heart, I know I'm going against a lot of what other people talk about here. Other spiritual writers, spiritual teachers talk about the heart center of the planet being in different places. But to me, I'm getting a very strong message from Archangel Metatron that the heart chakra, the heart center of the world at the moment is New York. It's focused in on that one particular city, which explains this massive clearance that has happened. And the clearance, by its very nature, has really stripped bare. It's stripped the city bare, and there has been pain and there's been upset. But out of that upset, there will be regrowth, and there will be new hope for the future. But more than anything, deep in the earth, there is this awakening center, this awakening energy center. And what we can do, I'm being told, to help that collective process, which is really a planetary process, is to work on our own hearts, because we are all connected into Mother Earth. We all come from the earth, we all go back to the earth, and therefore anything that we can do in our own lives, on our own bodies, can only help the collective good. And first thing Metatron is saying that, maybe it sounds obvious, but it might be obvious, but people don't necessarily do it, which is that we need to be physically looking after our heart. That means looking after our body, making sure we get the exercise we need, making sure we eat the right diet that actually nurtures the heart rather than clogs it up with fat. And that's about balance and being sensible. But also there's obviously a healing aspect, there's an emotional and spiritual aspect to the heart. Which is that we all need to be trying to release and let go of anything that causes us pain in this particular part of the body, the heartache, anything that's causing us pain. Really, it's time to look at that and to let it go as much as we can. I believe we all have the power to heal. We all have the power to heal each other and ourselves. And it starts very simply, just by calling in the angels. And it's Archangel Metatron who's asking me to give you this message. So I'm asking you to call in Archangel Metatron and literally to place your hands on your heart center and to ask for healing and to let go of anything that you are able to let go of that is holding you back or causing you pain at this moment. To literally send physical healing into the heart at a level that is sustainable for you, that's comfortable for you, and to release what you can. Because I'm a colour therapist, I obviously work with colour, and the colour that's traditionally been associated with the heart is green, but there are new vibrations of light coming in all the time, new colours, and it feels like it really is, it's a rose pink that's needed into the heart at this moment. So as you are putting healing into your body, and you can be visualizing this, you can imagine it going into the body, you can imagine breathing it in and taking it down into your heart space, or just simply placing your hands on your heart and imagining a rose pink energy going in, but literally feeling that and imagining it going deep, deep into your body and starting to revitalize the cells that are there. And the more people that do that, it feeds into the wider collective, it feeds into the planetary collective, and it's very important to help also support what is going on in New York at the moment, which is a planetary thing. We are all affected by that. So many people who don't live in America, don't live in New York, have been very, very affected by the news and the pictures that they're seeing. Because it is literally pulling at our heartstrings, but it is opening something, and that is about compassion, it's about collectivity, and it's about the fact that we are all connected, and it's reminding us of that. Because you can't watch a picture of somebody losing their home or losing somebody they love without also thinking, my gosh, that could have been me, and placing yourself in that situation as well. So I think really that the purpose of this message is to pass on the message from Metatron, which is that New York seems to be linked into the heart center of the planet. There is a higher purpose for what has happened in this particular city. The angels and Metatron completely love and support the people that are there. And I ask anybody that's actually been affected to call in Metatron as an energy to work with you as you start the process of rebuilding your lives and your businesses and your homes. That's very important. Archangel Metatron is a being that is very much about bringing light into dark or challenging situations. And I think the hurricane came in on the 29th of October. 2 and 9 make 11. Number 11, those of you that know my work, I talk quite a lot about 11 as being a number that stands for illumination, new gateways, new doorways opening, but often that is also that we have to shut something, we have to let something go. So it feels as though that Metatronic energy needs to be poured into New York City at the moment and then rippled out across the whole of America. America is obviously in a phase of extreme growth at the moment. There's the election literally around the corner, and we need to all be hoping that the right person is elected that can take the country forward in the way that's right for it, and also as a world that we really offer our support and our love to our American friends over the seas. So I think that's all I want to say for now. As I say, this video I wasn't expecting to make it this week. Those of you that know me, as I say, I have a website which at the moment is called AngelicCelestialColours.com. In December it's going to be relaunched under my name, which is Amanda Ellis, and there you'll find a lot more about who I am and what I do, and the work that I'm involved with. But for now I really just want to send my light and my love to those people affected in New York itself and across America, and just to ask and really put that prayer out that each of us can do some work on our own heart, which will help the planet's heart to open further as well. And the reason why it's awakening and it's opening more and more is because we all need to be living more from our heart. We need to be becoming more from a place of unconditional love. And so therefore seeing people across seas who are going through terrible, terrible times is a chance for all of us to send that ray of unconditional love to them as well as ourselves. Okay, so I think that's all I really want to say now. Thank you for listening to me, and I'll be doing more of these videos going forward, so look forward to connecting with you again soon. Okay, thank you.